Hi, good morning. Right, today I'm going to do a little demo, mixture of things really. I'm going to be using one of these stamps, these lovely grey rubber stamps by Creative Expressions. Andy Skinner is the artist of these, and they're gorgeous little stamps. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to be doing it on, I'm going to be stamping it on vellum, and then I'm going to emboss it with this clear embossing crystals, because stamping on vellum, it takes a long time to dry. Whatever ink you use, it takes a long time to dry. So I'm going to be using my VersaFine Black for stamping, so that's that. I'm going to use this brick wall embossing folder to emboss a wall effect, and I'm going to do my blackout, kind of like a blackout, what do you call it? Excuse me. The blackout technique on the brick wall. Instead of using black, though, I'm going to be using this grey and brown underneath. And that's just my blending tool. Got my scoring tool, and I've got my little anti-static bag. Mustn't forget to use that. I always do. I'm going to be using an A5 card, and these are just my mats and layers to fit. So we've got A5, 15 by 21 centimeters. This mat will be 14 by 20 centimeters. The next mat will be 13.5 by 19.5 centimeters. And then the topper and the smaller mat, we've got 10.5 by 14 and 11 by 14.5. So I want to have a nice little, a good border around it, make it look like a picture. Excuse me. And that's going through the embosser. Right, also a piece of vellum, obviously needs to be bigger than your 14 by 10.5, so you can wrap it around and glue it, either glue it or tape it down. I shall use my red liner tape because I know it's nice and strong, the old faithful red liner. So let's first of all do the embossing. So I'm just going to place that inside my folder. Hoping I've got the right way around, actually. I'm thinking it needs to be right. Yeah, that's the right way around. So I'm just going to run that through my machine. Still got the old plaiting on machine out because I've been doing foiling. Can't do it through my Gemini, so still got the old machine out, the old faithful. Right, so this embossing folder is, I think, is a Crafter's Companion one. I believe it's a Crafter's Companion brick wall, stone wall, whatever you like to call it. So there you've got that. And I want the deboss side, not the emboss side. I want the bricks to be set down and the mortar to be raised up, so to speak. So with my brown vintage photo distress oxide, I'm just going to randomly fill all that back space in. And I'm going to try and do it so there's some darker patches and some lighter patches, because as you know, brick walls are never that uniform. And just blend it until you've got what you want. I like darker areas and lighter areas, make it look a bit more realistic. There you go. Stone walls and brick walls are like that, aren't they? Very uneven. That's it. Make sure I've got all around the edges. I mean, once the venom goes over this as an overlay, you're not really going to get that embossed feel, but it would look nice, I think. We shall find out. Right then, so like I say, this is your VersaFine Clair Morning Mist. Don't want it to be black, just want it to be a little bit darker than the bricks itself. Like that. This is a nice deep embossing folder as well, so it's not picking up elsewhere, it's just going on the raised parts, which is what I want. Okay, so that's that little bit sorted out. What's your Madoodara wipe? Can stay there for now. So that's my brick wall part that I want doing. Okay, now stamping onto my, let's get that ready. I'm going to use one of this because I want to make sure I get it nice and dark in case my ink pads fail me like they sometimes do. Now the thing with, like I said, with Vellum, thing with Vellum, when you stamp on it, it does tend to stay a little bit wet, and it's, I tried it yesterday and it took ages for it to dry out. So in the end I did another one. I'm a bit croaky today. In the end I did another one, and I thought, well, the best thing I can do is to clear emboss it, just to make sure we don't get no smudging and that. Because even though after an hour or so I thought it would have dried, it wasn't dry properly and it did smudge. I set it aside to reuse, but I'm not sure if I'll use it now because it's got a bit smudgy. So right, peel the backing off of there. These are very detailed stamps, these. Beautiful, beautiful designs. I'm going to place that one there. I'm also, actually, how big is that? It's not going to give me much room to put my little saying on, is it? And I have to put that, stamp that onto the main frame then. And I think I've got that, yeah, pretty much level, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to place that there. That will now stick to my, get that out of the way. That will now stick to my top there. VersaFine Clair Nocturne this time. Build up my ink. Don't want to press too hard because I don't want to get on the edges of the rubber. So just dab your ink on nice and lightly. If you've got one of these platforms, you know, you can go back in if it doesn't ink up well. It should do though, because it's on vellum. It should take the ink quite well, and it will leave it nice and wet. You know what I didn't do? I didn't use my powder, and I knew I'd forget to do it. I didn't dust it first. Never mind. It's clear embossing powder anyway, so if you get any excess over, it's not really going to show that much. I always forget, always forget. So there we are. That's lovely. That's come out lovely, that has. I did rejuice my pad last night, I must admit. Right, let's get that out of the way. Let's put that under there. Piece of paper under there to catch all my crystals. I mean, look at that. What beautiful design. As you can see, that ink, you all know VersaFine Clair usually dries pretty quickly, but that but it's still very wet. So let's get some embossing powder on that. You can use your normal clear embossing powder, or you can use clearing and use black embossing powder, whatever your preferred choice is. This is the ultra thick embossing crystals. I just prefer to use these ultra thick ones. That's just personal taste. So that's all covered up. I don't think I've got too much excess on there. I don't want to flick it too much. Flick it all off. And let me just get rid of those back in the pot. Lovely. Get rid of that. Get that out of the way so we don't set the old pot off. Right then. Heat tool. Try and get it nice and warm. And off we go. Melt the embossing powder. There you go. Beautiful. That's come out lovely. Let's get that out of the way as well now. How gorgeous is that? Lovely, lovely picture. Now I could, or if you have a go at doing this yourself, you could add a little bit of colour to your picture if you wish. And if you do, I would suggest adding the colour to the back. I don't know whether to or not on this. I might just put a bit in the balloon. What colour shall we have? Let's put a bit of I don't know if paint will work on vellum either. Let's see if a bit of red paint will work on the vellum. Not sure that it will. Let's have a look. Yeah, it does. I weren't sure if it'd just stay on top or not, but it's not. It's going in quite well. And keep a lighter area. Wet brush. Like that. And get me a bit of tissue and just dab that bit up there because I want that bit to be light. Yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted. Actually, I could do with that being a little bit lighter still, but see if I can get some of that out. I just want like a little light patch to make it look like it's shining. That's all. So I just want to take a bit of that ink out of there. Like that. That's it. That's it. That's what I wanted. Right, so you can add a bit of colour if you want to, or you can leave it just as it is in the black and white, or entirely up to yourself. So the idea was to put that onto there, like that. You get where I'm going with this, yes? Very similar. I won't say too much, I might get myself in trouble, but very similar to the Banksy style art. Not quite the same His is more kind of, it's got more of a stencil-y sort of look to it, but I love it either way. I love Andy Skinner's work. He does some pretty amazing stuff. Some people find it a little bit dark, but I like dark. Trying to fold that a bit better. We're trying to fold it when it's bend, 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 bend. I get it as near to the edges as possible. Some of those, I'll lose some of that off that corner anyway, because I should put it off. So we'll have this kind of effect then, you see. Just dampens down the brick wall, so the brick wall isn't the main feature, but it just gives it a nice, it's just a nice background, I think. So what I'll do, I've got my creases now, so I know where I need to be. I still don't know if to colour the boy in, I don't know. I'll leave it, I'll leave it. I'm being indecisive today. It's Sunday, I'm allowed to be. Right, so I'm going to cut across them corners. Just to make it easy for folding and taping down. Don't need all this excess either. Chop some of that off as well. So I'll get rid of that. I'm going to put some red liner tape on there. Just need a little bit, just to enough to hold it down in place. Oops, that will do. You can use other double-sided sticky tape, or if you've got a preferred glue. I like to use red liner for things like this because I know it's going to stick and it's not going to come apart at any point. Some of you double-sided tapes tend to come unstuck after a while. This won't. Okay. Peel off that back in, very static. Sometimes it just does not want to lift. Let's get rid of that. Place that inside. Make sure I'm all lined up on the edges. That's sticking to me. Trying to get it as tightly to the edges as possible because it's got to go on top of another layer and I want it nice and tidy. There you go. Okay. And you're not going to worry about any colour coming off because that's on the back. So that's that part done. So now we just build the card up. This is the boring bit, sorry. In fact, I don't know if to stick that down with red liner as well. I think I will. I think I will stick my topper down with red liner, just to be sure. I think glue will stick your vellum down onto your topper, but I'd rather know for sure. Stick with what I know is best. Normally I would if I'm not using vellum, I would usually use my glue, as you know. Those of you that know me know the products I use mainly, and I do swear by my Tacky glue, Anitas Tacky glue. Right, that's it. I think I put some in the middle as well. I think I better have to stock up some more of this. There you go. Right. So, that sticky plastic is sticking to me. That's about level, I think. As level as my visuals will give me anyway. So I'm gonna do this one next. Come on. Getting a bit low. There we go. That's it. Make sure I'm completely covered. Not falling off. I just think having the extra framework around it looks a lot nicer, especially with a picture, this kind of a picture, this kind of artwork. A bit fluffy around them edges. Get a nice clean cut on that, did I? Put that at the bottom. Just a nice thin black border around there. And then that. I'll set it slightly higher, and then I will stamp the sentiment underneath. And I believe this one is called The Only Way Is Up, or something similar. Nowhere to Go But Up, this one is called. And it's come from a collection of 8 gorgeous stamps that I believe are super popular. Like I say, you can get them from Creative Expressions. There, like that. And then, last but not least, put the sentiment on. Can do this one by hand. Let's make sure I'm the right way up. The only way, and nowhere to go but up, so it's that way. Got a very fluffy edge there. I took that under with my nail. That's it. Where's my nocturne? There it is. I do believe I've got all of that. I'm going to stamp that under there. I think that's about centralised it. Oops, I've touched there a little bit, never mind. Hopefully that won't show. There, look at that. Beautiful. And that is my card for today. How stunning is that? See, with the vellum you get that, so he looks like he's painted on the wall, but he looks like he's sat away just back from the wall. I love that effect. I think that's really neat, and I think that makes a lovely card. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.